Okay, let's carry on with this X-Wing. Let's add these, I don't know, shooty stick things. Don't know what they're called, so let's go with that. So they're roughly cylinders and they touch the upper and lower part of the wing. So let's go to make sure we're not clicked on anything. We'll add a cylinder. Mine's defaulted to 8 because that's the last one I used, but type 8 in there if it wasn't. And then let's add a mirror modifier. So mirror, and I want to mirror it on the Y and Z axis. So if I go into object mode and I move it, we should have 2 there and 2 there. Okay, so if I press RY90, it will rotate to that axis. Because we're spinning it around this axis, rotating it this way, and this is the Y axis. So if you're not sure which axis to use, have a think about this little gizmo and which one you're spinning it around. Okay, so press A to select all, and let's scale that down. And let's start beginning to move it into position. So somewhere like that. Now that's way too big, so it's S to scale, and let's put it, I mean, it's not far off actually. It's not too far away. Let's have a look how big it is on here. It's probably a tiny bit big, but it's fairly close, and it's also fairly close to where it should be. It's not quite lined up on this wing, and it's probably because that wing isn't quite in the right place. So let me fix the wing rather than the other thing. So with the wing, I want to just trying to think the easiest way to do this is probably to move it up a tiny little bit so it's equidistant on both sides, and then go into edit mode and just bring that one down a tad, and that should bring them all closer into alignment. And that one's fairly close. This one, we're still not 100% perfect, so I think what I'll do is I will just move that up down a tad, just so they're all intersecting a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's probably okay for what we're trying to do. And we're roughly, it just comes to the end of the wing. So let's go into this face here, and I know this is not 100% perfect, but it comes to just over the edge of the wing. Let's use I to inset, E to extrude, and then let's E to extrude and S to scale. So what I did there is I extruded it, but I didn't actually pull it out, and then I scaled it, so it created the geometry. So while that's not perfectly to scale and I've just eyeballed it, it's probably close enough for this model. And then this face here comes up here. Now if you want to be a bit more precise, you could go into top mode and you could do this. So again, we're just after the general appearance of this ship. I'm going to extrude with E and click, and then I'm going to scale, and it creates the geometry but doesn't move the face, and it's quite a handy technique to use. And then I'm going to inset with I. I'm probably going to leave it fairly simple and low poly, so I'm going to just do that and then extrude. I'm going to press 7 so I can see roughly where it's going to go, and as you can see it doesn't line up perfect, but that doesn't matter. And then I'm going to inset this again, and to get that little slope I could actually pull the inset out a little bit and then I can continue extruding. So number 7, have a look in the top view. Yeah, and then I'm going to extrude it a little bit and scale it to get that shape. And let's keep referring back to the drawing. So roughly here, maybe it's a bit bigger. Then we want to inset the face, extrude, keep checking your reference, that doesn't look too far off, and then inset and then extrude. And let's check that again. I'm not spending a long time making it the perfect size. I'm just getting it approximately right for the effect. So let's have a look at that, and then we'll probably have another couple of videos getting the end bit. So we've now got the wings completed. Let's just quickly add R2D2, because that's quite a simple step. Right, so I'm just going to treat this as a hemisphere. So all I'm going to do is click off everything and add a UV sphere. And then what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to rename him R2, and I'm going to hide everything else. And then I'm going to go into edit mode, click off, press Z to go into wireframe mode, and then just select, box select everything on that lower half and press X, delete faces. Then I'm going to press Z to go back into solid mode, and then I'm going to bring everything back. So it's way too big, obviously, so let's just S to scale. Let's start popping it into position. Still way too big. Still way too big. Right, let's look from the side view. So 1. I'm just going to hide the wings, and this is why it's so useful to have them labeled, because you can see where they are. Oh, and I didn't label the cylinders. What are they? Are they guns? Let's call them guns, and let's hide the guns. So clicking back on R2D2, we can see roughly where he is. So it's about there. Let's scale him down. So he's about there. And I'd say that's absolutely fine for this, for now. It does look like we've got an engine compartment. And sometimes you can't get the full view of the structure of the ship from these type of drawings. So you may have to go and look at other drawings. So I've got a view here, so I can see the ship comes up and out a bit more. Okay, so that might be something I want to do. I might want to put in a bit of a loop cut. Click on this geometry here. Let me get rid of this background. So this is the front view, and it looks like if I put another loop cut in here and drag it to the edge here, I should be able to, whoops, I always do that. Going into line mode with 2, selecting that line, and let's pull that up. And I also need a loop cut probably about here that matches that line there, and I want to come off the loop cut in that mode there, and let's just put that there for now. Is it more like that? I'm not sure it is. Let me go back. Oh no, it's the engine part I'm looking at. Okay, so it was okay how it was. Well, let me just undo that then. I'm looking at the engine here. This must be the wing. I can bring it up a little bit. That'll be fine. I think that's absolutely fine as it is. So in the next episode, we'll put the engine itself in, and then we'll deal with the back part and the cockpit, and then that'll be done. So I'll see you in the next episode.